Welcome to the Gain Momentum podcast, focusing on timeless lessons from senior leaders in hospitality, food service, travel, and technology. I'm joined today by Angel Ferrufino. He is the co-founder and CEO of CRQLAR. Angel, how's it going?
Absolutely fine. Thanks for inviting me, and I'm very excited to be on the podcast, Adam.
Awesome. And you're joining us today from Vienna, Wien.
Absolutely correct, and you pronounced Wien absolutely correctly. Yes, I'm right now sitting in the wonderful city of Vienna, Austria, in Europe. Correct.
Yeah, richtig. Yeah,
Sehr richtig. You're improving your German all the time, so congrats on that.
yeah, herzlich danke. So, um, first question. Give us, what is the elevator pitch for CRQLAR? What is CRQLAR?
Well, let me start with the vision of CRQLAR. Our vision of CRQLAR is to transform guest data into personalized experiences at luxury hotels
Mm-hmm.
by connecting all relevant IT tools in a hotel, in luxury hotels. So what we do is we connect all that data, we merge and clean that data, and also with the help of AI, we then create one centralized and very clean guest profile where we capture all the interests and preferences of that guest. And that allows hoteliers to really do personalized outreach, create personalized experiences without overwhelming staff with complex tools. So that's what we do. It's all about personalization.
Awesome. And one of the more unique aspects of CRQLAR is that you have three main modules that can connect directly into the CRM. A restaurant management and booking software, spa management and booking, and a hotel app. Can you describe those features?
Oh yes. Well, when we started and founded our company, we reached out to multiple stakeholders within the industry, and what they reported to us is that they have a lot of IT tools in operation in their IT tech stack, and so they have a restaurant system, they have a spa system, they do have a CRM, they do have an app, booking engine, and so on, but none of them is really connected in one centralized platform. So what we did is customers, and we're based in Austria, uh, told us, hey, are you able to build those modules, which at the moment are data silos, standalone solutions, not fully integrated with our CRM or not even with other systems? So then, yes, we built the spa booking engine, management system. We then also built the restaurant system. And then on top of it, we are then also included in our suite of products our hotel app, because the hotel app is obviously guest facing, where we can easily integrate our own restaurant system. So a guest can easily book his favorite table through the app, but also can book easily and very comfortable his own favorite spa therapy through the app. So it does make sense for us to have these add-on modules, because all that data which we get from our own products will be seamlessly integrated into our core, which is this CRM. So it will enrich the guest profile by those data points, and especially the interests and preferences coming from those areas. So that means we help hoteliers to fully understand who my guest is, not only from the CRM standpoint, but also from really all these outlets where the guest does make and generate revenues coming into the core CRM system.
Awesome. And what I'm getting from your answer is that it was an evolution that was
Correct.
led by user demanded or user oriented features that they wanted and requested. Yeah. So what I'm wondering is if you could just give us a little bit more background information on the founding of CRQLAR, how that came about. And one thing I've observed is that with hotel technology, a lot of the companies are they're founded out of a frustration over an industry challenge and the yearning to help solve that challenge for hotels. So could you unpack whether that was the case or if not, and the founding of CRQLAR or the and your part co-founding it as well?
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I'm more than happy to share that story. First of all, the audience needs to understand that we, as co-founders and myself, we're not from hospitality. We do come from other industries and predominantly from digitalization and automation, but we were not in hospitality before founding of CRQLAR. So the founding story is that we were invited at a five-star hotel in 2021 in a little valley in Austria, really, really wonderful five-star hotel, family-owned, leisure hotel. And we had a 2-day workshop where we talked about the importance of data, in generally speaking. And after this 2-day workshop, the owner approached us and congratulated us for having that workshop. However, she told us very, very directly and said, we in hospitality have a huge problem with data. And we were like, okay, tell us more. She said, we sit on a gold mine of data, but we cannot use it. And that attracted our interest. And we kept asking questions and said, why? And she told us that the hospitality industry is dominated by a lot of fragmented data silos, which are not connected. So if you think in the German-speaking countries, there are around 13 to 15 IT tools in operation, while at the same time, they store up to 30 different guest profiles in these IT tools. So she told us about that huge problem that hoteliers, which is a shame, do not fully know their guests. And that attracted our interest. And we at the beginning thought that's maybe only um, a little pain in a little valley in Austria. And after going into stealth mode 6 to 8 months, talking to various stakeholders in Austria, in the DACH, German-speaking countries, in Europe, city hotels, leisure hotels, small chains, big brands, guess what? They all confirmed the same. It's a huge problem. It's a global phenomenon. And then out of that, we saw that the market is big, the problem is big. So we said, okay, let's build CRQLAR with that vision to transform guest data into personalized experiences. And that was in 2022. And then we built our first MVP, really, really in close collaboration with these hotel owners. And quickly afterwards, we landed, the first wave of customers, single-owned customers, but also small and medium-sized chains. That was 2022 onwards. So that's the story of our company.
It's actually very recent too, 2022. It's just the time is just flying by, and you've
That's
had a
true.
lot of
Yes.
success over the past 3 years.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, we were very successful. At the same time, obviously, it's hard work to become that successful. I think one of the key success factors is to be very close to the market to really understand the pain of hoteliers. And again, as we were not from the industry, we had a very, very, very close look at their pain points and very much taking care of it and paying attention to every single detail to better understand the pain. And then thereafter, define the best solution for solving that pain. So, yes, that's true.
Okay. And we're talking the DACH market, Deutschland, Austria, Confédération Helvétique, the three German speaking countries in the world, although they have different dialects. and you're based out of Vienna. Can you describe what it's like to have a company specifically in that market and in Vienna versus other territories?
Yes, for us, we see Austria as a great market for starting a hospitality venture for a couple of reasons. First, it's really one of the vibrant hotel markets within Europe. So you need to understand that tourism is one of the backbones of our entire economy in Austria. So we receive a high number of guests, of travelers visiting our country, and also obviously the main city, which is Vienna, but also Salzburg and Innsbruck and other cities. And also not only the cities, but also the regions outside of the cities, because we have wonderful landscapes and wonderful mountains, summer tourism and also winter tourism. So we are blessed with this high number of travelers and visitors. So that makes us very special in terms of having all those fantastic 4 and 5 star hotels in the country. And at the same time, yes, I'm now based here in Vienna. I do sit in Vienna. Our head office is in the western part of Austria, which is Innsbruck. And the reason why it's Innsbruck is we already had some kind of, at the beginning of the founding of our company, some kind of structure there. So we knew the place very well. My co founder is from that city, from that region. And number two, in the western part of Austria, there we have in total in Austria more than 2,000 4 and 5 star hotels. More than 2,000. More than 90% are family owned. And the substantial part of these 2,000 hotels being family owned in the leisure segment are in the western part of Austria. So for us, it makes very much sense to be headquartered in the western part of Austria because we have a close collaboration and with the hotel owners, which are really just around our office. So out of that, we can learn much faster and can build much faster solutions for these hoteliers. So that's a bit about Austria and why we are in Innsbruck and or in Vienna. It's a great market. It's a great region to be in hospitality.
Well, it can be quite opening to know just the sheer volume of hotels that are in Western Austria, and then also the timeless lesson of being close to that market in order to speak directly with hotels and understand their requests for features and for implementation and ensuring they're using the software correctly. And I think that may be overlooked as for larger companies that operate globally in terms of interacting one to one with the hotels that are there. To move on to what a CRM can enable, I want to start locally with that area. And when we're talking about Western Austria, we are talking about the Alps. So there may be some very specific features that you've built around Alpine hotels, ski-based features and marketing, and then trying to use the CRM to build year-round occupancy and not just the seasonality of ski and summer hiking based traveler activities. So can you talk to us about how CRM enables personalization at scale for Austrian Alpine properties?
Yes, thanks for raising that question, Adam. Well, first, we truly believe that the CRM, or we do see the CRM as a hub, obviously. Now, having said that, it's a guest-centric hub. So it's all about the guest, and the guest is in the core of the operation of the business of a hotel. That's number one. Number two is, having said that, is in order to enable personalization, to help hoteliers drive revenues through personalization, we do need integrations, meaning we need to connect to other systems to capture valuable data, which can then be merged, cleaned, and then stored and enriched in the guest profile. So that means, yes, we do have integrations with other PMS vendors. And if you look at the PMS market in Austria or DACH regions, there are dominant players in the market where we do have the integrations with, but also other regional PMS providers where we do also have integrations with. So that's number one. That's the foundation. That's a precondition. Integrations with PMS vendors with other providers to capture relevant data. Not only PMS, but also voucher systems, loyalty platforms, but also payment providers. We have a payment provider here in Austria, which has a huge market share. We do have that integration. So having said all of that, that's the precondition. Number two, how can then a CRM help is by helping hotel staff members getting the right information at the right moment for delivering that wonderful magic wow moment during an interaction with the guest. How does this work? So if we capture all this data from the restaurant, from spa, from the app, from other sources, and we enrich the guest profile, we can create interests, number one. Then out of the interests, we can also create through AI recommendations. And we prompt that recommendation to the relevant staff member, let's say the front office manager, at the right time, which could be the check-in process. So then the use case might be that you, Adam, you do the check-in, and our valuable platform will throw the recommendation at you by telling the front office manager, hey, Adam, it's great to have you back. Great to see you again. Can I serve you your favorite drink, your whiskey sour, as your welcome drink? And you will get your welcome drink, the whiskey sour or whiskey sour. Or through that recommendation, we will trigger upselling potential so that the front office manager only tells you, hey, Adam, it's great to have you here. I know that you are very, very a spa lover and you love the full body massage, 90 minutes. Actually, we have a free spot for you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Would you like me to book that for you? And you would say, oh, yes, go ahead. Wonderful. So these are elements, these are features that help staff members to get the appropriate at their fingertips information through an action, which then through a smile in their face will be delivered to the guest. And then the guest is very much happy to get those personalized experiences. And that will lead to increased revenue. And at the same time, no additional effort for the staff member because everything is at their fingertips.
Yeah, it's very interesting when we're talking about recommendations and the lensing of data, where you know that a guest has 50 different attributes in their profile, but then you can give the front desk agent just that one note, sort of the spa note, and really lens that around selling that 4 p.m. time slot that's open. And I haven't really seen that be possible without the very rich integration of the spa system and the CRM to enable that, and then push that through to the PMS if that's what the system that the guest service agent is looking at the front desk. So that is very cool, and that's sort of the holy grail towards looking at total revenues in terms of really developing a way to increase revenue per guest and really know their guests. And that's a on-site occasion. Then there's also the post-departure in terms of getting guests to come back based on what you know. One area I want to touch upon with a CRM is the metrics in terms of how you actually measure the value of guests. We have RFM, recency, frequency, monetary value. And then we have LTV, lifetime value, or CLV, customer lifetime value. Can you give us a description of those three and why they're important for CRM?
Well, obviously, the hoteliers absolutely should need to focus on metrics. That's number one. So it's very essential to have figures in metrics in front of you, because then you will be able to manage your property in a much more effective way. So that's number one. Number two is, yes, you pointed out recency, frequency, monetary. Obviously, if I need to know as a hotel owner how recent have I been here in my hotel, how often do I visit my hotel, and ultimately I need to know how much money do I spend while being in my hotel. So these are RFM metrics are absolutely key, and any CRM should reflect on those metrics and should help users to really get valuable insights about those metrics, at their fingertips by ease. So that's number one. Number two, obviously, um, if you have, there are different type of hotels, city hotels, leisure hotels. You may focus on different metrics. So I'd say if you're very much into leisure hotels, where the frequency is not as in a city hotel, where maybe a business traveler comes every 4 to 6, 8 weeks because of a business trip, but in a leisure hotel, the frequency is maybe only once a year. So then the customer lifetime value, so the monetary aspect of RFM metric, does matter more to you, because if that guest only comes once a year but spends 17,000 euros, that has an impact to you and how you will treat that guest when this guest appears the next time. And in terms of how you treat that guest in terms of loyalty, in terms of VIP status, and also in terms of personalized experiences. So RFM, customer lifetime value, do matter a lot. I do also see guest segmentation engagement as a metric that does matter. So I'd say these three metrics around RFM, customer lifetime value, but also guest segmentation engagement, depending on the hotel type, are important to hoteliers. And then you need to break it down based on the hotel type where you have more the focus on the metric. But in any case, the CRM should cover the business model you're operating as a hotelier, and should help you to really provide you the insights of these metrics, no matter which hotel type you manage or you operate.
And another important spoke from this data that we can incorporate is feedback, guest reviews, sentiment surveys, satisfaction. And that can tie into the estimated lifetime value because of how it affects the RFM. Somebody who's unhappy with your hotel, their frequency goes from twice a year to 0 times per year, right? So, how should a CRM incorporate feedback data to then update guest profiles and the modeling based on those profiles?
Yeah, we definitely see this post-stay, the survey element, what you're just mentioning, referring to, in order to capture feedback from guests after the stay, as absolutely crucial. So it's obviously part of the entire digital journey, pre-stay, during stay, and post-stay. So that's number one. Number two is, coming back to your question, how a CRM can incorporate that. Well, it should incorporate it, definitely. It for us, it's a must-have feature. And the way it should be implemented in a CRM is that you establish automated lifecycle emails or automated trigger emails based on triggers or events. Let's say 3 days after the departure, of that guest, an automated email will be sent to that guest where the survey is part of that. Having said that, is that obviously the guest should open that survey and easily fill out the form. And then these answers, the feedback, no matter if it's structured, meaning by checkboxes, or unstructured by notes, should flow back into the CRM. It should be analyzed. It should be also with the help of AI analyzed and categorized. And then automatically the guest profile should be enriched so that then the CRM will be able to even fine tune the existing interests and preferences based on that incoming new feedback. So that is important because then the recommendations are getting way better, smarter. So then ultimately, again, the front office manager or any other staff member will get a more accurate, a smarter recommendation based on that feedback before, which then again enables the front office manager to deliver a better guest experience through personalization, which again drives revenue. So you see, it's everything is interconnected. It's a circle. It's a constant flow of data, which is then processed. Then it's processed into information, and then it's processed towards actionable insights. Take action and deliver that experience to the guest that creates a wow moment, a magic moment, and that then the chances are very, very high that this guest is so happy and will say, wow, I will come back because this hotel takes care of me. They understand me. They listen to me, even if it's in a form, but they took care of me. And that's a big differentiator. And CRQLAR helps hotels to achieve that.
And yeah, we're talking about here having intelligence to inform models and future business outcomes. And I'm wondering, besides Western Austria, which is largely mountainous and maybe more resorts, there are a large category of city hotels. And this is very different in terms of what they're looking for from their CRM. So, can you talk about how RFM or any other metric changes for different categories of hotels, and maybe give some examples?
Absolutely. I completely agree that based on the type of hotels, city hotels versus leisure resorts, they will have a different angle into the metrics. As I said before, there are RFM metric. It will most likely be the focus different between a city hotel and a leisure hotel, because as again, and we see that very very often. Hotels in leisure segment, resorts, they have guests, returning guests, once maybe twice a year, but they spend a fortune. They spend a hell lot of money during that holiday. Uh, so it's very important that you understand that as a hotelier that these guests do spend more money during one stay, while others, maybe in a city hotel, they come 10 times in your hotel. But if you sum up all the entire revenue, it will be less than this guest compared in that leisure hotel in one stay. So again, the CRM must allow the hotel to get those insights. It must enable you to build around that business models, these metrics. And then also based on the recommendations is to deliver the correct recommendation, the smart recommendation for the correct metric based on the type of hotel to the correct user.
And one other element that I wanted to touch on with this, the different city hotels, high frequency, fast guests, or guests that are in and out, and then leisure hotels, resorts, where you have less frequent stays, but higher revenue per guest, more total revenues. One important part of all this that I think is foundational to Western Austria is wellness. And it's being reflected in some of the best spas in the world are in these hotels. And we're seeing that as a key driver. And I'm wondering, what data points can you pick up for those hotels to inform more stays, more meaningful stays, and more revenue per guest from those stays? What can you do from a data side to really enhance and make wellness sing for a hotel?
Due to the fact that we can really deliver our own spa management software, that's obviously a big differentiator. That's a big plus, a big USP. And hoteliers do see that value very much. Um, what's the actual situation at the moment? In many cases, yes, the leisure hotel resorts, they operate a spa area. Wonderful, a great spa area. However, the spa system is in many cases an independent software, a data silo, in many cases. So the problem is that the hotelier does not fully understand and fully know what this guest in the spa area is consuming, which treatments, because it's not connected with the CRM in many cases. He doesn't know what's the overall spend in the spa area by that guest. And he will also not know what exact treatment, which is my preferred treatment, what this guest loves, nor will the hotelier capture who is the favorite therapist performing that therapy for that specific guest. So, and by using, let's say, circular spa management software, you will be able to capture all of that, plus with the information we get from other areas, restaurant, through the app, through the PMS system, through the loyalty system, through the voucher system, we do get a much, we get more insights about that guest, and having also in mind that the spa area is in many cases, or it is a profit center, so revenues are generated there. So then the hotel owner can then easily use that valuable information captured from the spa area by, again, doing that recommendations and delivering the guest experience saying, hey, we know, Adam, you love hot stone massage. We know you love hot stone massage because you have booked it in your last 3 stays 8 times. So the probability is very high that, again, you will book the hot stone massage. And then CRQLAR will help the staff owner to prompt that action and then to really trigger that upsell to make that booking for that additional hot stone massage. So it's, again, the USP is that it's seamlessly integrated. You're no longer a black box as a spa guest. No longer. Now, hoteliers will fully understand that you are a spa lover, Adam. That you are a spa lover. And if you know as a guest that they know that I am a spa lover, you will feel more comfortable, more happy, knowing that they take care of me here because it's the hot stone massage that I really love with my therapist, Marcus.
One other element to wellness is the longevity side. And this is where we get a little bit futuristic in our discussion. But one of the things with CLV in a CRM is that you have to assume how long a guest's lifetime is to then predict how much money you can make off them. What longevity portends for the world, particularly in Austria and the DACH market, is people living beyond the age of 100. So therefore, the value of a CRM goes up because rather than having an expected lifetime value based on 20 years of marketing and having guests come back, you can now base it on 40. So can you describe the intersection there of how a CRM can enable the longevity economy and really trying to market market to guests over a 40-year lifespan of that guest and also develop long-term relationships?
Yes, I truly believe. So I completely agree with you. That obviously we also see that trend very much here in Austria and the German-speaking countries, longevity. A lot of hotels do approach us about this topic, and we have intense discussion about that topic. So yes, it's a very hot topic.
Yeah.
That's definitely what I can say. Um, I truly believe that a CRM, any CRM, that really captures the the interests of a guest, and now especially in that area, over a long period of time, will help the hotel owner to better understand how that guest has evolved, how that guest started being in that longevity journey, and after 3, 5, 10 years, where that guest is standing at that particular point in time. And obviously, if then AI comes into place, machine learning algorithms, and then prediction engines based on all the data points captured over that very long period of time, then the probability is very high that these predictions are more accurate than just focusing on a limited number of data points. So again, for us, it's very much about capturing those interests over a very long period of time, getting that underlying data, and everything is centered around enriching the guest profile with that interest. That is fundamental. That is fundamental because you can really see the journey of that guest. And if you see the journey, you can take action, immediate action, in order to drive revenues, but also deliver better guest experience to these longevity guests.
Which, having a better guest experience for the longevity focused guest then determines more revenues because you're closing the circle in terms of saying, well, a great guest experience. And then we know that we can get them to keep coming back over a 40-year lifetime. And we're not focused so much on recency or frequency. We're focused on the long-term value of saying, well, they're going to come once a year for something that is a very high total spend. So it's actually
Absolutely
quite
correct.
beautiful in that way.
Absolutely correct. I completely agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
So, with longevity in mind, what's the future of a CRM look like for a hotel?
Well, first, how do we see CRM?
Yeah.
Again, I'd like to emphasize that we see the CRM as a dominant hub within the IT tech stack. That's number one. And that means it has the guest in its core. Having said that, it also means that it's not the room in its core. If you look at the entire IT landscape, tech stack within a hotel property. That's number one. Number two, what else do we see in the future? We really see the CRM as evolving more and more towards, let's say, a true intelligent layer of a hotel. And how is that possible to become a really true intelligence element layer within a hotel and I said that before, and I will repeat myself here because it's really important, is enhancing the capabilities of capturing guest interests through, as an example, a voice note, as an example, or improve, once you have captured this interest, improve how you can better enrich the guest profiles around these guests' insights. Number two. And where we also see the future is creating much more let's say, improved, smarter recommendations and predictions, because over the time, a CRM will capture more and more valuable data through these integrations, and you can make use of that valuable data to improve your recommendations and your predictions. So we see personally the CRM, or actually how we see CRQLAR in the future, is to make hospitality more personalized. That's our aim. Make hospitality more personalized.
Awesome. And that's a great way to finish off. Is there anything else that you want to mention about CRQLAR or CRMs or specific features?
Well, yeah, what crosses my mind is any CRM, what's very critical is it should be easy to use.
Okay.
So user interface, user experience, ease of use is absolutely critical. So, for instance, at CRQLAR, we are really, really much focusing on, we call it dumb it down initiative, to really make it as simple as possible so that users, staff members can easily adopt CRQLAR and are happy with using the software, because ultimately it will lead them to deliver these guest experiences. And also, uh, what CRQLAR's aim is to make hospitality more personalized. So it's ease of use.
Wow. Yeah, that is so important because we have to take the staff members in mind who are using these systems day in, day out. Angel, it's been a fantastic 42-minute conversation. Thank you so much for coming on to discuss CRQLAR, CRMs, wellness, Austria, and everything. Thank you so much.
Many, many, many thanks, Adam, for having me on the show, for inviting me. It has been a real, real, real pleasure. You surprised me very much with your German speaking skills.
Natürlich.
And exactly, natürlich, selbstverständlich.
Ja,
The next
genau.
time, the next time we see each other, it will be in Spanish. I'm very much looking forward to that as
supuesto.
well. Por supuesto, aquí estamos presentes. So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and thank you very much for having me.
All right. Próxima vez.
Hasta la próxima vez.
Thanks for listening to the Gain Momentum podcast. To stay up to date, make sure to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Gain Advisors, head to gainadvisors.com.